Hey y'all, welcome to Stivers Homestead. I'm Zach.
And I'm Jen.
And today is an update on our infertility story.
Yeah, so if you've been following us for a while, you know that we wanted to have a third baby for almost 2 years now.
Yeah.
We waited a while, nothing happened, and then recently we did a video telling you all that we were going to go to the doctor and see what's going on.
So what's the news? So quick recap, like she had mentioned, we've been trying for about 2 years. We had just been kind of leaving it in God's hands and just trying to let it go as it came. If it happened, it happened. If it didn't, it didn't. And we still have that mindset. However, after that long of a period, we kind of wanted to try to figure out if there was some answers. Because even though things are in God's hands, there's things that you can do because He gives us the freedom of choice to enhance yourself or better your health or do different things that might put you in a better option to do that. And that might be, part of His plan in general. So the first thing was Jen.
Yeah. So a few weeks ago, I went and got my yearly exam done, which was no fun, but I told you all I avoid it, and I hadn't had one since Raylan was born, which was 5 years ago. That is not healthy. You should go every year. So I decided to bite the bullet and go with a lot of your encouragement. Thank you. And some of you decided to go as well, which is good news. The exam went fine, and then I told her, basically our story, our background, and what we wanted out of this, and basically just to make sure that each of us are healthy and nothing's wrong.
Right.
So she did a bunch of blood work, lots of vials.
A lot.
Just checking, levels of hormones, thyroid, sugar levels, kidney function, liver function, just all that kind of stuff that, wraps into overall health in general. She then ordered a ultrasound to see if there's possibly scarring tissue from C-sections, because I did have 2 C-sections with our kids. And then we had a follow-up scheduled for yesterday. So before all of that, I talked with someone very close to me. I'm not going to say who she is because I don't want to bombard her.
Retired.
Yes, she is retired. But she had her suspicions on, things that would possibly be wrong if they were or could be leading that way, and what I could go ahead and do to, get myself on the right track, because waiting for results takes a really long time. So I did. She pointed me in the direction of vitamins and supplements and going the natural way, because that's what we want to do anyway. We are not people to take prescription medicine and stuff like that. It's just not really how we function. If we had to, we would, but we've never had anything wrong.
Right. If medicine was needed for a short-term fix, then yeah, by all means. But we are not fans of something that never has an end date. You're just going to take this medication forever. That's not okay with us.
And we've never encountered that kind of situation to where we needed to.
Right.
So, so I have been on those for about 2 weeks now, maybe 2.5, and I feel better. And
She's
I went back.
She's been making me take them as well.
Yes, he takes them as well.
the man ones.
Which we'll show you at some point in this video. But I went back for my follow-up. I actually did not get to do the ultrasound. It didn't work out, but I have it rescheduled for the end of this week. But she ran me my blood results, and she said everything basically looks great. My hormone levels are fine. My blood sugar levels are fine, my A1C, my kidney function fine, my liver's function's fine. The only thing that was a little bit off was my thyroid, my TSH. But it's barely.
Yeah.
Barely even off.
So much she didn't even really have concern for it, but it's almost like she had to point out something because it can be nothing.
Right. So basically the stuff I was already doing to get better and the stuff that I'm taking was leaning in that direction anyway, because I could kind of feel that was where it was going. So that's great news. I mean, I've already been on the right track for 2 weeks to get those levels balanced back out, and I'm doing a whole lot more. I'm not just taking vitamins and supplements. I'm doing a lot of research. I've got some books and just trying to get an overall wrap my head around what I can do better so that my thyroid is in good shape.
So I have a quick story before we show you what the vitamins are on what she did when I picked her up. So in the world, the dishwasher. So in the world of 2020, it's hard to have more than one person do anything anywhere that's in person. So I was not allowed to go into the doctor's
office. Which they did apologize for, and I was thankful for that.
Yeah, because with this situation, it kind of impacts us both. You know, I've heard stories of people not being able to go, the fathers not being able to go in for ultrasounds. And, you know, that's just really depressing and sad. But we get it. It is what it is. So I was sitting in the parking lot. She was texting me like while she was in there. Well, then she kind of went radio silent, which I figured that meant the doctor was there. And she finally texted me and she goes, okay, come pick me up. So I started driving up to pick up. And she has this big grin on her face. I'm like, what is that? I was like, at least it must have been good news. She's smiling. She comes to get in the truck. And I say, so how'd it go? She hands me a sticky note. And it has a doctor's name and a phone number. And basically, it was my turn. And so I said, so you're good. It went well. It was just really funny. She just like handed it to me like she slipped me the card. Like, it's not me, bro.
I'm good.
Right. So there's your little quick funny story of the event.
Which we do have to finish that story.
Yes.
But before that, I wanted to kind of show you all what I'm taking. I'm not a doctor. I'm not saying you should take this if you have these issues. We're open, and you know, that's just kind of what we're doing.
Yeah, and a lot of people y'all have said at least that you're interested in what we take on a daily basis for natural remedies and stuff like that. So here it is.
And a lot of you suggested these things.
Yes.
Here's proof that I listened. So for one, you know, we already eat healthy, but we're going to eat healthier, more organically sourced, more ethically sourced, all that fun kind of stuff. We do juice every morning, which I've actually had to cut back to every other day because that was causing some issues.
She doesn't have a gallbladder.
Yes. But when I do juice, I am adding organic maca powder to mine. It's just a superfood that's great for anyone. It's plant-based, but it also can aid in fertility. So it's kind of a double win. I mean, it's a superfood and it can help with issues. So why not?
So I don't do maca. I can't stand it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's earth. That's what she is,
Right.
straight earth. But she gets a little bit in her juice and it goes, I put moringa in there.
Yeah, which is also a superfood,
Yeah.
so it works out. And I'm not a huge fan of moringa, and it can kind of
Imbalance?
no, it can hinder fertility, so I'm not going to do that. Zach is taking saw palmetto berries. Let's see, get that to focus. It's just for overall prostate health, which he kind of needed anyway. I don't think, yeah. I mean, you know, he get up in age and you just...
No, I agree. I thought you meant like I was showing signs or something.
No, it's preventative, basically.
Sure, and I'm huge. Like when I do No Shave November, it's Prostate Cancer Awareness Month, and so anything that keep me out of that, I'm all good for it. So
yeah, we're also doing Chase Tree, which is great for you and can also aid in fertility. Hopefully that focused. I think it sort of did. Liver beef,
touch the screen on it. There you go.
There we go. Liver beef, it's from cows, and it's just always good to work on your liver health. Always. That's, I mean, that's never like not a good thing to do.
Right.
So that's
not one of those things they can remove.
Right. So that's definitely something we want to focus on. I had a little bit of liver issue before my gallbladder was taken out because it was starting to attack my liver. So that was kind of a scary time. Now everything's back to normal. It's functioning just as it should. But since it kind of had that trauma, I think it's better to just go ahead and be preventative. And then the last one, well, not the last one. I don't know why I said that. There we go. Thyroid glandular. So I found that from a really great company. The doctor did prescribe me a thyroid medication. I haven't decided if I'm going to take it yet. I think I'm going to stick with this, see how it goes, because it's literally barely off. It's not a huge deal at all. And if this can fix it, then I would rather do that than be on a thyroid medication for the rest of my life. Because if, you know, I do get pregnant or, you know, anything changes, I don't want to have to rely on that medication or have to try to come off that. So hopefully that will do the trick.
Yeah, our biggest thing is falling dependent on something. You know, our bodies can do that. If you're helping it all the time, it's gonna need that. So we're just nervous about doing anything that's a permanent medication.
However, some people do take this with their thyroid medication. They say it goes hand in hand. I was actually reading up on that today, and it can be a really good thing. It's kind of like taking an antibiotic and a probiotic at the same time. They work together, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, and that's a good one. Before you move on to that, I'm sure I probably offended someone when I said that. We understand people need to take medication daily, and there's stuff that people have to take. We're just saying in a point to where it is not affecting our health. Like we have a chance to do national before we have to move that. That's why we're saying what we're saying.
I'm sure when we get 80, we'll be on a whole run.
Right. We know that day's coming. We're just trying to prevent it as long as possible. So everyone that takes a daily medication, please do not take offense to that. We understand. I get you.
And the very last thing, besides just our normal probiotic that we take every day, is iodine.
There you go.
Oh, lovely. So that has been a real groundbreaking thing. The past, few years for people with thyroid trouble, iodine is supposed to help immensely. It's just really, really good for you also. So I put that in my water and I take all my little pills and I don't know, I'm feeling better, and I didn't ever really feel bad, but I guess, there's sometimes you can block out some of the fatigue and some of that. So I don't know, maybe it's helping, maybe it's not, but I will have another set of blood results or blood work done, and we'll see, if it does or not. And if it doesn't, then we'll consider the prescription.
Yep. And immune wise, to keep yourself healthy, you got to keep your immune up. So we always take our fire cider, which this one we just drained. The other one is over here that you all saw us make. So hopefully you all did it with us and you're drinking yours now. And of course, elderberry syrup to also help with immune boost.
Yes.
Okay, so first and foremost, my wife is healthy. Blessings, right? That's huge, beautiful. Blessings. With as much blood as they took, you almost fear they're going to find something that is completely unrelated to what you're going in there about, because that's just what happens, it seems. So the fact that she got the cleanest bill of health possible is absolutely amazing, and we're extremely blessed. It's beautiful.
She even said, with as much blood as I took today, 9 out of 10 times I have to come back and tell someone bad news. And she said that is not your case today. So that's amazing.
Yeah, so absolutely amazing. What that does mean is there's something else that's blocking it. It could just strictly be timing, right?
It also could be the thyroid, because it is a little off. That can affect it.
Second piece is it could be something to do with me. So we got the sticky note on this doctor for me to go get myself checked out. But we don't know if we're going to do it.
I think I've decided that we're not. I feel like that's too much. It's pushing it, and I don't feel like that's necessary. There's a few reasons. One being that Zach has produced 2 children, and so I don't think that there's any issue there. There could be things that slow it down, yes, but he can fix that on his own without needing a test to tell him that. What was the other thing I was saying?
Well, that was the main 2, but the other one was, in my opinion, if we do it and it's either low, slow, whatever it may be, what are they going to do that we can't do on our own? We know stress levels cause it, and different other factors can cause it, and just straight age.
Yeah.
So what is it that they could do that could fix it besides just giving us bad news
and putting him through that? Which I don't know. It doesn't feel right. I'm sure it's fine for other couples, but it just doesn't feel natural for us. It doesn't feel like us or like something we would do.
Yeah.
And back to the God's plan. If it's supposed to happen, it will happen. At no point in time ever in this process have we said that we're going to force it or we're going to do everything that we can absolutely do to make it happen. Because that's not what we're going to do. We have 2 children that we love. If we have a third, we do. If not. But we're healthy. And that's all that matters.
Right. Exactly. So I have a lot of relief just knowing that she's healthy, because like she mentioned, we had a doctor hint that she was having some severe liver issues
a few years
ago. She was wrong. She was just straight wrong.
Yeah.
And what she said, but that time frame of our lives scared us to death.
Yeah, she induced a lot of panic.
Yeah, she basically gave Jen almost a timeline to live.
Yeah.
And then from there, she's had a biopsy when she had her gallbladder taken out. That biopsy came back completely clean.
She said you're fine.
And all blood work since has said it's clean. So I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to get at is the fact knowing that she is fine and healthy, I think is more of the relief than anything. Because even though the purpose was we want a third child, I think what was lingering in the back of our mind is, well, what's wrong?
Right.
But knowing that there isn't is a huge relief.
Yeah, definitely.
So all this rambling, what does all this mean? What are we doing moving forward? Basically the same thing we've been doing.
Yeah.
Besides adding the vitamins to better our health and different stuff that might enhance the possibility of us getting pregnant. But we're happy, we're healthy, our kids are happy and healthy. We love them to death.
Yes.
I get on her sometimes. Just kidding. So if a third child happens, it happens. We are not in a spot to where we are starting to address adoption or anything in those lines. Nothing against it. It's just we know that's not the time for that right now to be, like we said, forcing the situation. So we're just letting it roll. We're getting ourselves used to our new house,
Yeah.
farming, loving our kids, and continuing to try. And if it's in God's plan, it is.
Yeah.
The time will be right whenever path is taken down, if any, for another addition to our family.
Yeah. And continuing to focus on being as healthy as we can.
Yeah.
Every day, every month, every year, we learn more information, we do more research, and we do the best that we can with what we have. And right now, the knowledge that we have moving forward is much better than it was a month ago. So that's great.
Right.
And, it's not even big adjustments. It's very minimal, small things you can do to just change your lifestyle and be healthier overall, whether it's for a certain goal or just to be there for your kids in the future.
Yep, absolutely. And y'all, we know that within our situation, that is not everyone else's. Sometimes that result back from the blood work is not as happy news as what Jen got. Know that we always pray for you all. We constantly have everyone that is going through struggles like that in our prayers, and we are not discounting any of those. We feel you, we understand you, and we hope that it turns around. Maybe one of these things is something that you didn't know about, and maybe you can start trying it out. And not saying it'll change anything, but like we said, it ain't gonna hurt.
That's right.
All right, y'all, if you haven't subscribed, make sure to down below.
We love y'all.
Until the next one.
Bye.
Bye.